This is Kaylee Cahoon from SMARTCore Method, here to deliver the long-awaited client-requested video I am calling Happy Hips. This is a movement sequence that I use in my private practice to relieve achy, stiff hips. The byproduct of it is that your lower back might feel a little better. The movements are supposed to make you feel better. If for any reason you feel pain or discomfort doing them, you should definitely stop. Now let's begin. We're going to start laying down. The first exercise is pelvic clock. We need to free up the sacrum because a lot of the hip muscles attach to the sacrum. So thinking of the pelvis as a clock, I'm going to use my belly button as 12 o'clock. So the vertebra that's across from my belly button. I try to get it to touch the floor just a little bit. And then I'm going to roll down to my tail to what I'm going to call 6 o'clock. So I'm in a slight arch, but not in an arch that causes pain and not in a big arch. It's a really non-effortful arch. And I'm going to come back to the center of the clock. And now I'm going to identify the 3 and the 9 on the clock, which are the hips. So I'm going over to one side of the pelvis to put what I would call the 3 o'clock spot down into the floor. I'm going to roll across the center and over to the 9 o'clock. And come back into the center of my clock. So now that I've identified the 4 points of the clock, we're going to make a full circle of the clock going in each direction. I'm going to start at 12 o'clock, placing my belly button toward the floor. And I'm rolling across over to the right side, so I'm going 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock down. And then 4, 5, 6, and now I've got the tail down. And then I'm going over toward the left side, 7, 8, 9, and then back up 10, 11, and 12. And reversing the clock in counterclockwise. So going 11, 10, and 9, trying to really imprint each number into the floor. 8, 7, 6, over 5, 4, 3, and back up 2, 1, 12. And release to the center of the clock. Do the exact same thing with one leg stretched out. So we're going back to 12 o'clock with one leg extended. Going up toward the belly button, and I'm going around clockwise. 1, 2, 3 to the right hip, 4, 5, 6 across the tail, 7, 8, 9 over to the left hip, and 10, 11, 12, back to the belly button and then reverse it. All the way over to the left hip, trying to hit the corners of the clock as well as the 4 points. Cross the tail, all the way over to the right hip, and all the way back up to 12 o'clock. Come back to the center, change to the other leg. Try to move without effort, even if your clock is very small. Curl to 12 o'clock. Going clockwise again, all the way over toward the right hip, all the way down across the tail, going around toward 9 o'clock, and all the way back up to 12 o'clock. Reverse it again, over to the left side, imprinting each number down into the floor, across the tail, over to the right side, and all the way back up to 12 o'clock. I'm going to do this with my legs straight. Now this might be a clock that is really a figment of your imagination. That's okay. It could be a very small clock. So go ahead and curl to what you would think 12 o'clock would be, and then over toward the right side to go toward 3 o'clock, and all the way down to 6, and all the way over to 9, and back up to 12, and then reverse it. Moving over to 9. If you need to go slower than I am, please feel free to do that. Go all the way down to 6, and around to 3, and come all the way back to 12, and relax. Good. So we're going to start with one leg stretch. So grab the leg, 2 hands, pull it in toward you. Make sure that if this hurts your knee, that you hold underneath your thigh instead. This is a 2-legged event. This right leg is going up, my left leg is going down, so I'm trying to keep the back of my thigh down toward the floor. I'm going to take my hands underneath my thigh, and I'm going to stretch my lower leg only as much as I can to keep my flat of the foot parallel to the ceiling. I'm keeping this right knee pulled tight in toward me. And I'm just going to hold that for a few seconds longer and then bring it back down. And the other leg, pulling it in toward me first, feeling the opposition of the opposite leg going down toward the floor, the back of the thigh reaching, the one I'm pulling coming in toward me. Take my hands underneath and extend the leg halfway, putting the flat of the foot toward the ceiling. Holding it there for just a few more seconds and releasing and placing it back down. I'm going to draw both legs in toward me, one hand on each kneecap, and I'm going to do the flop. So I'm going to take my leg and roll it over and just flop over toward it. One leg chases the other leg. As I go over, my leg chases. So one leg leads, the other leg follows. Up and over. And one more, up and over. And I come back toward the center. Keeping those hands relaxed on your knees, we're going to open the legs really slow, as if you're opening a book. So this is abduction. This is not rotation of the leg. So we're letting the legs go out to the side, and they are open. And pulling it back in really slowly. When you move slowly, you get in touch with that deep core. You'll feel a little vibration as you move. That means you're there. And all the way back in. And we're going to do it one more time, just as slow as you can. Open the legs nice and slow. The distance between my ankles and the distance between my knees are pretty much the same. The whole way. So my shin bones are opening and my thigh bones. And then I'm going to bring them back in really slow. Try not to use a lot of muscular effort. As little muscle as possible. And bring them back in. Place your feet down on the floor. Take your pelvis and move it 2 inches to the right. So you're just picking it up and moving it over to the right. I'm letting my knees go over to the left, and I'm taking my arms out to the sides with the palms up. You should get a nice stretch across the side of you, in your hip, maybe in your chest. I'm taking my right hand and placing it on my sternum. I'm going to slide my hand down my left arm till it rolls me over and reach just past my other hand. And then I'm passively going to slide it back, keeping contact of my hand on my arm and across my chest. Place my right shoulder back down on the floor and open the arm all the way up. And again, take the hand to the chest and slide it across. And just let it reach past the other arm. And take it back on, keeping contact of the hand to the body. Make sure that your shoulder hits the ground before your elbow and all the way back over. Bring your body back to the center. I pick my pelvis up, I move it 2 inches to the left. My knees go to the right. My arms are out to the sides, my palms are up. I take my hand and I place it on my chest and I slide it across nice and slow all the way over. I passively roll over, reach past my hand, take it all the way back. Make sure that your shoulder is down on the floor way before your elbow. You don't want to be caught doing this with your shoulder. And bring it all the way back open. One more time. Fold your arm in, place it on your chest, let it trace across, and just passively let your head roll, and slide it all the way back, and open back out. Next I'm going to move into an X pattern. So I'm centered back in the middle, and I make a letter X with my body. So I'm reaching in a letter X. If this bothers your shoulders to have your arms out here, you can also bring your arms a little bit wider. I'm taking my right hand back to my sternum just like I just did, and I'm going to trace my left arm. I'm going to allow my body to roll over, all the way over, letting that right hip come right over, and I'm just letting my head hang. I want to get a long stretch from my right fingers all the way to my right toes, across my hip, and slide it back and find that X again. Same thing on the other side. My left hand goes to my chest, slide it down my right arm, and I allow my body to roll over passively, reaching, just getting a nice long stretch across the left side, and slide it back, and open back up. The next one, I'm going to take my pelvis and I'm going to move it an inch to the right. And then I'm going to take my left leg and bend it in, and I'm going to grab onto my shin bone with my left hand. So I'm in a little bit of a letter C with my spine here. You might already feel a stretch across your right hip in this position. My left leg is just relaxed open. So I'm going to slide my right arm and my right leg nice and slow, going toward the left. They're just sliding. I'm trying not to roll my hip over too soon. And then once my arm and leg get over there, you'll notice you start to roll over naturally, and you're going to bend everything in. From here, I'm going to take my arms and push myself up. And I'm just going to lift my chest, trying to lift my chest up to the ceiling and stretch my obliques. And then I'm going to roll back down, grab onto my shin bone again, and extend my right arm and leg back out. So I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to slide the arm and leg out, roll it in, take my hands, push myself up, lift my chest up, take my left arm back down again toward my shin bone, and open back out the right side. Back to the center of my X. So now we do the other side. I pick my pelvis up, I move it to the left. I take my right knee and my arm and grab onto my shin. My body's in a C curve going toward the right. I slide my left side, my arm and my leg on the floor, just relaxing my hip, not moving my hip until my leg and arm pull me over to the side. I'm going to take my hands, push myself up. Nice lift up toward the ceiling with the chest. Slide back down. Grab onto that shin again, and reach the left arm and leg away from my navel. And again, slide it across. Allow the leg to roll you over. Take your two hands and push yourself up, lift your chest, and coming back down. So I'm going to go onto my hands and knees instead of going back to the floor for cat and cow and dog. So with cat, everyone knows this one. Push your hands and your shin bones in and make that back a nice round curve. And then release your spine into an arc. And again, a nice cat, pressing the shin bones and the arms down. And release the tail and the head in the opposite direction. Bring your body to a neutral spine, and we do wag the tail. So we're going to take our tail and swing it to one side, and I'm going to turn my head and try to look at my own tail. And I'm going to swing it to the other side and turn my head and look at my tail on that side. And one more time, swing it to one side and swing it to the other side. And come back to the center. I'm going to sit back onto my heels in a child's pose. Knees might be a little bit apart. I'm just going to reach my arms nice and long and drop my head down. I might stay here for a while, but this is the end of my happy hips sequence. You can learn more about the SMARTCore method by visiting our site, smartcoremethod.com.